Today I'm going to add my photos, but I have a little bit of preparation first. I have my Bible verse ready to go on, and it's really close to Larry's head, so I thought I would take off the white edge. There's no date on this photo, and following suit, I think I'll take the white off of this edge because of Larry and I, just to have more of the pretty background we made yesterday's show. So those two things are going to be done. And I want a hole under the bird to shine through. So I'm going to do these prep things, and then we'll attach our photos. So what I did was I have a hole here, and I attached the picture where I wanted it to be on the back. And I've already put glaze on that one, but I need to cut out the hole that goes to the other side of the page. So I'm just putting a self-healing mat behind it, and using an X-Acto knife, I'm just going to cut away that area. I think this will make the edging, this pretty leaf sprig here, prettier or more intriguing with a hole in the bird. Whoop! I almost wonder if it's easier to cut with scissors, because I do have a shaky hand, but we'll try that. That's one layer. Remember, there's two layers. There's one behind it too. I think if it's a little bigger, it won't matter from this side. And there'll be a bird on the other side too, so I think we'll be okay. There we go. A little rough. Just get that little rough part out of there. Okay, so my bird is ready to be attached. Take out my little cutting board, and I left this flap here. In fact, I made it more flappy. And I still don't want it too wet because I want to do all the layers today. There we go. All right. So I think I'll use some just the thick gesso, which doesn't get as wet. Okay, this is clear when it dries, and I'll put it on fairly thick here, and then I'll use my thinner brush here. Get this out of the way. Going right to the bottom. I'm actually going to use my fingers here, because I really don't want this thick. All right, I think I'll also, this will hit the bottom, but it won't hit up there. So I'm going to put a little on the bird. I might just fold that down and use glue. Yeah, let's see. I know, I'll just lift it up and use glue. I'll be able to add some ink there if I need it. So let's just put that birdie in. I lined it right up to the corner. And before I add more gesso, I'm going to attach my die cut with glue, tacky glue. I find the tacky glue is not as wet. It holds really well when it's dry. So it's sort of been awkward with this leaf stem only half adhered on as we've done this, but it worked out pretty well. Now I'm going to use regular glue here too for this rough edge above Larry's head. And one more step I forgot to do. Let's just put a little bit of distress ink on the edge of the page. I've already done the bird, but I didn't think of Larry here. So I'll put a little bit of distress ink there, and I already covered his face. Okay. Back to my tacky glue. I'm just more confident with glue. This whole idea of the wet mediums are very new to me. I'm going to get this little corner down here too. Made a little fold there, but I don't mind it. I want to cover Larry's beautiful white hair. Okay. Now, not gonna, yeah, I guess I could attach the bird. The bird doesn't go near the photos, so I'll attach the bird now too. Sweet sparrow. Okay, I just have a chamois here to wash my hands off. Okay, so the hole's made. I might add a little bit more ink to it when it dries. This picture, ooh, this picture's going under. This picture's going under, and I found it, yeah, I shouldn't have laid that down. Not quite right on. So I'm going to just lift that up, and if I have to add more paper, I will. I'm going to trim this down and trim this down. So I'm going to move my book. Now, I know a lot of people tear. I just love Tim Holtz Deco cutter. It makes it a nice even, a nice edge without a lot of hassle, and the roughness of the decal makes a very beautiful stamped edge when you add your distressing ink. So we're taking off the white since there's no date on the photo. And I'm going to take it off this one too to follow suit. This is way back in Canterbury, Connecticut. I have very few memories there. think this was in 56 or 57, but I do remember leaving the chicken farm and moving to town, and I remember a playmate there, and I definitely remember the front porch. And this is taken near the front porch. So, sort of fun. Now, there's one more picture here while I'm cutting. I actually thought this was my brother Larry. You can tell we all have some similar traits. It happens to be Andy. Oh, this one has a date on it. I'm still going to take it off. I'm going to use a bigger picture of this for another page, but I just wanted to show you how I trim the pictures. When I was printing pictures up of Larry, I thought for sure that was him. But that's my youngest brother, Andy, because the date on the picture is September 62. And he looks like a little toddler. So this is not Larry, so we will put Andy away for another picture. Okay, so that's how I get my deckled edge. And it makes very nice. You'll see how easy this distress is because it's nice and rough. Now, remember, I'm only doing this on index card weight paper. So it's not photos. I mean, it's photos printed on cardstock, essentially. But that way, if I get moisture on it, I won't have any trouble. But the one thing I did, and I already did this picture, is I'd like to put distress glaze over the part that there's no way I want ink on it, in case when I'm finishing up later and I add more ink, nothing will go on the faces. That'll save them. You'll also see me add more distress glaze later on top of the sky blue we used, because it's a distress ink and it's water reactive, and once you add the glaze, it will not be a problem. Okay, I'm going to do one sheet here and put a double-sided tape in the middle. Let's see. And I'm going to keep that part dry. Add some gesso here. And remember, I kept these ends up so I could put photos under. There we go. I don't know, maybe this won't react if it's already got gesso on it. So I'm going to slide him under here. Now see, with taking the white away, that has given me an opportunity to show the pretty colors we added yesterday. Made it a little bit smaller. That also gives more room to add the Bible verse. I sort of wanted to show the, well, I don't know, maybe I'll do it slanted. Then you can see that there was a photo there. Adding a little clear gesso here. Not going to put gesso over the photos yet. I want time for it all to dry before I add a second layer. You know, I'm going, just for confidence sake, I'm adding some white tacky glue in the corner. My confidence of gesso is limited since it's new to me. Still a little close to Larry's head, but this at least shows that it's a photo. And adding a little tacky here. Now I couldn't add photos, real photos to this, because if I added real photos, I would have a lot of trouble with the glossy paper. Okay, so far I'm happy with this. This one I've added ink. That one I added ink. This one I have not. This is probably my favorite picture of Larry because it looks so like him, even when he was 69 and 70. And his great smile. Now remember, this is only on regular paper. I printed this from a digital file I brought from Etsy, but I really think the distressed ink around the edges highlights it well. And this, you all know I made a mistake of this and didn't make it textured. I might play with it a little more later, but I don't want this to go over it, and I want this song title to show well. So I think I'll do it like that. And since this page is very wet, I again am going to use the tacky glue. I think it'll adhere well, and we will put the other medium later. Okay. Even this, I would never put this much glue on a regular photo. I think having an index card weight is really protective. I'm going to right above this. So I'm going to go down and over. That's what I'll do. Go down and over. And there'll be plenty of room to write here, and maybe even some there. So I don't know if an art journal is really supposed to have photos. I know a lot of people do writing in it, but for me, photos are just so much of my life. I think I can combine it with my art in a unique way, and it'll still sort of be an art journal. Okay, I see a couple of edges up here. I think I'm going to let it dry flat for a bit and see how it goes. And we'll take care of the edges after, and I will cover it with the gesso. Okay, there's our first bit, and now I'm going to put a protector inside and do the back of the page. Now, this is, again, one of my favorite photos, and I left the edges of the leaves open, not that one, so I have to have it up a little bit. And these are the first three siblings. Then I thought we must have my mom. And even though we didn't live with our dad all the time, I think we must have our dad too. This one does have a date. It's July 55. I was born in July 54. So I guess I'm a year old here, and with my mom and dad. So I am there. The bird needs to go right where that hole was. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Yep. This goes here. This goes there. And we'll put this photo right in the corner. That works. And we'll put my mom there. So let me just attach these photos. And again, I'm going to try tacky glue and then do the overcoat with the other. Now, one thing I have not done, I used to do all this at one step, and I sort of forgot that today, is I forgot to add the aging process on the decile edge. So I'll add that. Make this old photo look even older. There we go. I think with Mom's picture here, it's a little light, so the decile edge will give it a little bit of popping out. You can see I took some of the white edges off, but I left that one big to show the date. So Larry was born in 52. I was born in 54. Ralph was born in 56. Charlie was born in 58. Andy was born in 60. Gee, let's see. My little sister broke the mold. I think because of a loss in between. But my little sister was, I think, born in 65. I want to make sure I have room for that tail without touching my father's face. There we go. Just going to hold that for a minute and secure it. Now I can add the glaze to this after. And remember, we did this with the knife. I'm going to just take a little chunk out of the photo edge there. I think I am. There. Okay. Now, I told my husband I need to finish up this project. I did it almost for therapy. This is my third brother I've lost. And I think this is probably the brother I'm closest with. Of course, we were not quite even. So I thought by remembering his life and our good times together, it would be helpful. Okay. Add some glue to this little birdie. This little sparrow, and the edges will be caught later with the gesso. There. I see a little tip here that shows through from the photo, and I'll take my these are not my close to my heart. I just cut the top of my glue off with those. I think the close to my heart scissors will get that better, or else I'll use the knife again. Okay, last page for today. Whoops. I'm adding the end of the song. I'm not sure if the second verse is going to end up in here or not, but I thought it was important. I like this one here because it sort of frames Larry. This is when he came to our home to pick up the Miata and drive it all the way to Massachusetts. Some 900 miles. He did that in October, I think October 5th of 2020. Drove down here, all the way down here on a Greyhound bus. It took almost a day with all the changes, wearing a mask, and he drove home in the Miata, and he's been playing with it now for a couple of years and fixed it all up. Now, I told you this is my third brother I lost. This is at the funeral of Charlie, that's him in a picture, and this is Andy, and that's Larry. Ralph is still alive and Kathy's still alive. My mom's also passed. I felt we had to have the whole gang Oh, I just realized, did it again, I'm forgetting my edging, and I really think it makes a difference. So next time, before I do a video, I'm going to edit all my photos first. So when I'm talking, sort of talking to myself, although you hear it eventually, I forget things like edging. Okay, let's try this one again. So now I'm really glad I didn't go over it with gesso. Now this edge is going to come off, so that'll be level with the bottom, and there will be some distressing there too. So I think I'll just leave about the same amount of frame I did there. And normally I'd never put this much glue. I would use the dry double-sided tape, but I think since I want everything not to rise when I add the gesso top, I want it to be very flat. So since this one's so close, I will give this a little bit of an edge. Now these pictures do not have gesso on it yet, and not gesso, what's it called? Distress glaze, and I will be adding that. Okay, last picture. This is when he left Kentucky, heading out to Massachusetts. Now, Steve and I enjoyed this car for 20 years, but it's still a little sad to see it go. Now, I told you this was for therapy. The end of the song I picked, "His Eye is on the Sparrow," says, "His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me." But the part that I haven't added yet, "I sing because I'm happy." And I haven't been too happy lately. I have something very special coming up, but with my brother passing and all, it's been a little bit of a hard couple of weeks. Here, let me wash my hands before we add this one. And just sing, once you sing the song, "His Eye is on the Sparrow," you can't help but repeat it. So, okay, I got a few layers of glue off there. I'm not sure which I want over. I sort of make that like a stepping stone. So I think I'll put that there. Let's see how far this covers. I don't mind the verses showing a little bit. So I think I'll just angle that. So I'll attach this first and let the photo cover it, I think. I'll put glue on both then decide. Okay, the next time you see this, I'll probably have edged the sides. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. Hold this down. Put that at an angle. There. And I'll probably add my personalization. You've seen me use the gesso before. I still have more photos, but I think this is a little bit enough to remind me of the good times. But I will add the names of people, the dates of people, and such like. But I'm really kind of happy with this. I like how it has the edge. I like how it has a peekaboo hole. You can and I'll have to make a decision if I put the second verse of the song. So I I think that's it for now. I wasn't sure if I should add flowers here, but I don't think I will. If I do anything, I'll add more journaling and just make a white blotch of gesso there so I can add more journaling. But so I'll show this to you by Thursday and discuss more plans about what we'll make in the art book next. So have a great day. Celebrate Larry's life and death with me, and think of the people you love, and don't ever wait to say goodbye. God bless.